Hey friends, welcome into the Leadership Sandbox. Today I'm talking about behavior mirroring in your team and in your organization. Have you ever walked into two departments inside the same company and felt like you had completely walked into two different atmospheres, two different countries? One required a passport, one required your facial recognition, like completely different energies. That ever happened to you? Because it happens to me. Maybe it's just my line of work. Same organization, same policies, same value statement, same mission statement, same leadership training. Yet one team feels calm, trusting, direct, and the other team feels tense, guarded, like I'm constantly being checked over. I gotta watch my back. So what's the difference? Leadership behavior. Shocker. I know. Humans mirror the emotional signals of the people around them. Psychologists call this emotional contagion. Oh my heck. Big words coming into the sandbox, which means leaderships don't just manage work. They set the emotional thermostat in the room. Someone needed to hear that today. So in the sandbox today, we're going to be talking all about behavioral mirroring, that thermostat, and how leadership behavior spreads through teams faster than any policy and training program ever will. So buckle up, Buttercup. We got some work to do. What are you mirroring in your organization that maybe is getting in your way? We're starting it in the sandbox right now. Welcome in. All right, here we go. I'm going to go fast with this one, friends. Humans instinctively mirror emotional signals from others. I talked about that 2 episodes ago when we were talking about, I mentioned about how just hang out with a toddler for a few, hot minute, and you'll watch how they pick up the behaviors of the people around them. They have no words for it, but they can pick it up and they start mirroring it. People in the workplace are exactly the same way. You're sand thrower, you're Johnny the sand thrower, or actually complacent Charlie, modeling behavior. Dorothy the destroyer, she's someone that's setting behavior tone. If someone in a room is anxious, tension spreads. If someone is calm and grounded, the room is steady. The same things happens in organizations. The same thing. So those behaviors that you want can spread just, I'll say it this way, and maybe faster are the ones that you don't want to, because we continue to reaffirm those, interestingly enough. If leaders panic, the team gets frightened, they get tense. If leaders avoid conflict, problems go underground and they end up at the coffee pot, water cooler conversation or in the parking lot, which isn't healthy. If leaders address issues calmly, the team becomes more direct. People rarely realize that they are mirroring the very behaviors around them. It actually happens quite automatically. And over time, those patterns of behavior become what organizations call culture. It's the way that we behave. What do we catch people doing? And that's why two teams under the same leaders can feel completely different in companies. Same opportunities to get development as a leader, same training opportunities, same missions, same vision, same values, but different. Leaders are behavioral signal towers. They are the beacon. They are the lighthouse that warns people of approaching threat, or all rivers, or all waters, I should say, are calm and safe. Proceed with caution, or you're welcome here. That's why the two teams can feel like completely different companies, completely different countries, and how we have access. Leaders are those towers. They signal those behaviors. And the way that the leader responds to stress and to mistakes, conflict, is what teaches people, and it teaches your entire team how to behave. So if you've got behaviors that you don't like, your culture is spreading it through the observation that people are gathering from you and from others around you. I was having a conversation the other week with 2 leaders that are in our community, and we ended up having a common name of a person pop up in our conversation. And it was really about this person and their rather abrasive approach to the way that they manage themselves. And because I can't even call what they do leading. They manage themselves and they manage their people to the behavior they want, which is actually pretty toxic. And people know it. But this person has a really high profile job and people really almost clamor to be in their presence, even though they know this person is super toxic. Like, kind of like this. I wouldn't pick them as a friend, but yeah, I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with them because it's probably going to be a good advancement for my career if I do that. But it's created a really toxic culture that has spread, and people are observing how this one individual leader behaves, and they cower and they shrink back. But then when they're dealing with conflict, they actually handle it in the same way that that person does. So is it bullish and bullyish? It is. And do we like that in that environment? Nope. But guess what's rewarded and repeated? Why? I have my theories as to why, but usually why that is allowed is because people are afraid to step up and stand up and say, no, we're better than that. We're not going to do that anymore. And there's an insecurity about job performance and job stability, and it's created by those very behaviors. So culture spreads through observation, positive and negative. You like it, you don't, it's going to spread. And the leadership behavior is one of the most powerful forces shaping how teams operate today. So what you mirror, what you're doing is a mirror reflecting back to others on the team what's accepted. So if you don't like it, time to look in the mirror and actually reflect the mirror back on you. Because leadership isn't about intention, it's about behaviors, and it's the behaviors that you model. It's the behaviors that you set on repeat every single day. So this episode really is about challenging you to grab a mirror and take a look at in the mirror. And then also see what others see. Ask them what they see. What are the behaviors that we're mirroring and modeling? And are they the behaviors that are creating the operating system that we want? If not, it's time to install a new operating system. Just like your phone has an operating system update, your leadership style and your team also needs that leadership update, that operating system update. And you can learn more about it through our Command Leadership Behavior Operating System over at Bond Group Enterprises. Would love to connect with you to talk with you about how to install a new operating system, a people leadership operating system based on behaviors, not persons and personalities, it's behaviors. Thanks for joining me in the Sandbox today. I'm Tammy J. Bond, and always love it when people take time out of their busy schedule to listen in to the Leadership Sandbox and learn ways to create some new operating systems to transform who they are as an individual leader and contributor to raise up those around them to even be better with who they are and how they show up every single day. Hey, make it a great day. Thanks again for joining me, and I'm grateful and honored. God bless you.